Hey, I'm Deej from Bungie. We're here at PAX, just outside the Bungie booth, where we're playing Destiny Rise of Iron and supporting the Bungie Foundation through the sale of amazing gear and loot through the Bungie store.
What are you guys showing off here at the show?
So we have Supremacy, which is a new game type for the Crucible that's going to be in Destiny Rise of Iron. We are using the new private matches feature for the Crucible to take Alpha Team and Bravo Team 6x6, 12 players at a time, play some team matchups. Every single match has a high scorer, so that person is given a card that qualifies them to participate in a Rumble tournament that we're going to run pretty soon here, I think within the next couple of hours. So we'll take a group of Guardians, maybe 70 or so, that have qualified in each match throughout the course of the weekend so far, and they're going to battle to the last in Rumble. Free-for-all, every Guardian for themselves. We got some amazing prizes from the Bungie store to pass out to the winners, and this is just a great celebration of community. That's what we're doing here at PAX. We're almost close to the launch of Destiny Rise of Iron, and this is a great gathering of the people who are hungry to play it.
We were just outside actually hanging out with the cosplayers. You guys got to see the community out there. How was that?
Yeah, that's always awesome. I love it when the community brings the characters in our game to life, especially when it's their own personal character. Sometimes you'll see them dressing up like a character like Lord Saladin or Lord Shaxx or even Xur. Sometimes it is their specific Guardian, all their favorite gear, their favorite helmet, their favorite weapon. So they're literally stepping out from behind their game avatar and representing that character in the real world. It's always fascinating. And that passion and the creativity is always humbling. It inspires us to create a world that they'll continue to model using their own skills and talents.
So as far as the show goes, the most question I've been getting from people is, are they going to be able to get their hands on some of the stuff that's here back at home?
Yeah, the Bungie store has a lot of gear in it that you can acquire online or here at PAX. We do like to honor the people that come here to the convention and stand online to interact with us and to talk to us. And PAX is a special occasion, to be able to say I was there. I played Rise of Iron in private matches before it was available to everyone else. These things are rare and these things are unique because they represent a moment in time. And we do like to preserve the exotic nature of some of the things that people can acquire either for the shelf in their game room or for their inventory in Destiny.
What's the thing you've enjoyed the most about Rise of Iron so far?
I love the themes of the story. I have a full Iron Banner suit of armor for my Warlock. I love to depict my own character as a knight more than a soldier. And I think that fusion of science fiction and fantasy elements in Destiny has been a lot of fun, something we've enjoyed playing with. But we are really embracing those themes of nobility, those themes of being a heraldic space knight on an important adventure, rising to the rank of the Iron Lord, and the way that story arc plays out, the way that evolution comes to a dramatic close at the end is something that I found really satisfying.
If you could design your own exotic armor or weapon, what would it be?
I would have a belt-fed heavy machine gun, and like Invective, the ammo would grow back miraculously. The community would hate me for this weapon, but it would be a grand old time.
Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized Lord Saladins or one Lord Saladin-sized duck?
I would definitely want to fight the 100 duck-sized Lord Saladins. One Nova Bomb should pretty much put them all away anyway, so...
Right. If you were no longer allowed to be a Warlock and had to choose one of the other classes, what would it be and why?
Titan. All the time I look at that Titan armor and I think it looks badass. Plus, sort of the brute strength, get up close and personal and throw some punches is probably even more congruent with my own fighting style than the Warlock. But I made a completely romantic, emotional decision. I looked at that armor and I was like, I want to be the wizard. They said, you might want to wait and play the characters, and adapt to, whichever character really complements the way you like to fight. And I said, no. I will adopt a fighting style that is appropriate for the wizard. And so, I think people make decisions in Destiny because they're very tactical. They want that golden gun. They want to, they want to be, the Deadeye and be a precision killer. For me, being able to throw a Nova Bomb with some splash damage, belt-fed heavy machine gun. I'm a sloppy player. I play support. The Warlock does me just fine.
Why didn't Tiger Man make the cut for Destiny? Where did you get your amazing jacket?
If you mean the jacket from Bungie Community Theater, that actually came from a costume shop in Bellevue. So that was an interesting day walking in there and say, I need an ascot, I need your best dinner jacket, and I need a pipe. In terms of Tiger Man, God, that's an old story. You can go all the way back to GDC 2013. And Christopher Barrett, the game director for Rise of Iron, was actually at that time conceiving of all the things that you might see in the world of Destiny. And when you imagine in every direction like that, there are some roads you travel and some roads you don't. And there was at one point in time sort of a tiger race that was very quickly abandoned, and it was something we had a little bit of fun with on April Fool's Day, but it really probably wasn't ever really meant to be in the game in earnest. That's just what you do when you're inventing a brand new world from scratch, is you start with a blank canvas, and for a while there are no bad ideas. But then after a while, having done that, you start to realize what are your favorite ideas. And that's how video game development works at Bungie and a lot of other places. I'm sure a lot of people here on the development floor would talk to you about the things that they embraced that led them to the better idea.
What sort of challenges can we expect to face in Rise of Iron? I feel like there's a lot of them.
Yeah, well, you're going to be exploring a brand new zone. You don't know your way around the Plaguelands. It has its own perils, it has its own secrets. You're going to ascend to the rank of an Iron Lord to change the way you fight. These artifacts are going to have an extremely impactful effect on the combat meta. We're going to have people going into the Crucible that can now block a super attack. We're going to have people who can tell when somebody runs around the corner in the Crucible if their super is charged. So if I see a hunter running around and I know he has a golden gun at the ready, I'm going to keep that character at bay. So I think we're going to see a lot of changes based on how people approach each other in different combat scenarios. And we'll be watching, we'll be paying attention, of course, but we have yet to see how it all shakes out.
Is Saladin the coolest Iron Lord?
That, again, is a decision for the player to make. I love Lord Saladin. I love the character. I love his story of redemption in Rise of Iron. But people will have the opportunity to get acquainted with all the different Iron Lords through the abilities that they grant to their character. So I think somebody will tell you that their favorite Iron Lord is the character that corresponds to their favorite artifact. Because that's really how the players of Destiny relate to the experience, is how it affects the way their character can fight and express their power.
Is Siva related to Rasputin in some way?
Well, Siva and Rasputin are both Golden Age technology. These are the mysteries of the world of Destiny. What was humankind capable of when the Traveler was healthy and human lifespan tripled and there was a new space race to go and colonize worlds that we'd only been able to view through a telescope? And when we drill down into those silent vaults and we unleash something, it could be helpful, it could be destructive, it could be completely benign and self-replicating, but in the wrong hands, such as the Fallen, it can become a terrible menace, a horrible threat.
Will we ever see Vault of Glass brought to the relevant endgame again?
Right now, what our objective was to give you a new raid. It's interesting to see that a game that is less than 2 years old has as much nostalgia as Destiny has. Vault of Glass is still certainly playable. If you love that Vision of Confluence, pull it out of the vault, gear down, go back in there and throw down. That's always available to you. There are times when we'll take a look at repurposing old content. I don't know if the Vault of Glass is on the list, but really our goal is always to give the Guardians new things to do, new places to explore, new types of enemies to fight, new weapons and gear to earn, and new ways to make their characters more powerful. I'm glad that that's where our focus is.
What is the one thing people might have missed about Rise of Iron?
All of the things that we want to save for their own player experience. We've actually talked a lot about Rise of Iron. We talked about all the different rituals that you'll enjoy in the endgame, things like Archon's Forge. We've talked about private matches and how much that's going to completely change the interaction of the community in the Crucible. We've talked about Supremacy. We've talked about the different gear that you'll get, the ornaments that you'll use to customize your character in some new and exciting ways. There are secrets in the story. There are secrets hidden across that new landscape to explore, and they shall remain so until you have a controller in your hand.
When you're not conversing with the community, what is a typical day off in your life?
Well, I work a lot with our player support team to make sure that the state of the game is healthy, and if it isn't healthy, does the community know about it? Are we troubleshooting it? Are we working with developers to fix those things? So community management at Bungie is not just about making tweets or writing blog articles or mixing it up with people on our forum or on Reddit or wherever they're discussing Destiny. It's about making sure that the always connected universe of our game is a place where people can come together. We talked to the Bungie.net team about helping people find clans, helping people find the partners they need to go on raids. The community managers have a hand in talking to the social designers, to help the players of the game enjoy this experience and come together and make it better for each other.
What is one of the greatest moments you've experienced as a community manager?
There have been all of the greatest moments that I've experienced as a community manager are the opportunities that I've had to meet the players of this game in person, to hear their stories. Bungie and Activision have sent me all over the world to meet gamers on different continents who speak different languages, and to see a community come together, almost like manifest like a flame, inside of this game, and to choose for themselves a culture of inclusivity and helpfulness and patience and working together to overcome these obstacles and being curious about each other. I mean, the whole experience all up has been amazing. And it's always great to look someone in the eye and hear their stories about their clan or playing the game with their wife, or how they made friends in playing this game that they now know at their university. I mean, there's so many different stories, but all up, the fact that the Destiny community exists now, the fact that the Destiny community is a social movement, and if we turn on a Twitch feed to tell them what's new and what's coming on board in the game, it's almost as a source of pride. They see how many people they can dogpile on that channel to prove to everyone on their friends list that this is a game they love, and there are plenty of people who are playing it with them, and they're all proud of that. So that's really humbling. For us, that's an enormous responsibility to serve that community and to honor that passion and enthusiasm, and to make sure that we're still making games in that universe that are up to our standards, up to their imaginations, and keep them entertained.
What would you love to work on if you weren't working on Destiny?
God, I never think about these things. I don't know. SpaceX, Tesla, I don't know. Do they need any help? I'm where I'm at. I worked and lived in Chicago for many, many years on different types of projects, and I walked away from all that to come out here to Seattle to work for Bungie and to see this community come together inside this bold new game, and I love it. And it's the only thing I can imagine myself doing. I've said that to myself many times throughout my life, so we'll see how my own career evolves. But I love working with Bungie. I love partnering with Activision. I love moments like this where we're about to show them something that's new. It's a pretty sweet gig, man. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, I can tell you that much.
What's your favorite story from Destiny's lore grimoire, and who's your favorite character?
My favorite character in Destiny is quickly becoming Lord Saladin. I know a lot of people connected to Cade a lot last year. I've always thought Commander Zavala was really cool, but that might be because I actually played Raid with the voice actor, with Lance Riddick, once upon a time. So when there's a Titan who's actually speaking with Zavala's voice and you're completing the Vault of Glass, right, that's pretty cool. But I really have enjoyed getting to know Lord Saladin a little bit better, because he was always a set piece in the back of the tower for Iron Banner, but now you understand why he's been conducting that ritual, that tournament, that monthly competitive engagement. And to understand, the pain of losing the Iron Lords, and to see that mood change as the Guardians rush to his aid to confront this rising threat all over again, has been something that I've really enjoyed watching the team have fun with and explore.
Okay, where did the username Deej originate?
David James. First name, middle name. David James becomes DJ. All nicknames get boiled down in a crucible, if you will, to a single syllable, especially when it's used in combat. Deej, 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 left flank, left flank.
Would you ever consider visiting Australia to promote Destiny?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Just need the right moment. We need the right time. We need my ability to sit on a plane for, 36 hours?
It's a long time.
It's a long time. I'd love to go to Australia. I've never been. There's a guy in my clan who is in Australia, so shout out to TTL Nightmare. Send me to Sydney, send me to Melbourne. I'd love to get there and mix it up and find out what people say about our game, first person.
I think that question comes from one of our guys who's from Australia, Surfaboy, one of the guys. He runs the Raid Secrets Reddit. Okay. So he's all...
Okay, oh yeah.
He's the guy who reached level 40 on the first level and just kept playing through it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, that guy just eyes up Guardian, eyes up Guardian, eyes up Guardian. Treated himself to his own personal Groundhog Day.
Beard or no beard?
If you're asking myself, I like having a beard. If you're asking about Destiny, the Guardians are clean shaven. We'll see how that changes in the future. If that changes in the future, no announcements to make about beards at this time. However, since the reveal of Destiny, beards have been a popular request on the part of our community. It's something I know the team knows about. No telling what the future might hold. So I guess my answer to your question at this time would be no beard.
Okay.